Leonardo da Vinci was one of the greatest scientific minds of the Italian Renaissance. He was the first person to study the flight of birds. Leonardo da Vinci also formed the basics of much of modern life. The airplane, for example, was his invention. He also gave us much of what we know on medicine and the human body. Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452, near Florence in central Italy. Da Vinci simply means from Vinci. During the late 1460s, Leonardo became an apprentice to Andrew de Verrocchio, a leading painter. Leonardo da Vinci was the only child in his grandfather's house. His family circle includes his grandfather Antonio and grandmother Mona Lucia, and their adult children Francesco, Aunt Violante, and sister Saperio. School was not Leonardo's favorite place. He would often skip school and escape to the rocky, steep terrain around Vinci. From 1478 to 1482, Leonardo da Vinci had his own studio in Florence. He later received an important commission to paint a church altarpiece known as the Adoration of the King. Leonardo never finished the Adoration of the King because he left Florence. Leonardo moved to Milan and worked there as a military engineer. There, he designed military equipment such as the machine gun, the tank, and the crossbow. He then worked as a sculptor. He planned a huge monument of the Duke's father mounted on a house. From 1485 to 1490, Leonardo produced loads of studies on flying machines, tanks, combat devices, and nature. Leonardo da Vinci was very fascinated with the human body. He thought of it as a mechanism. He made scientific drawings that clarified the appearance of bones, tendons, and other body parts. These drawings are considered the first accurate portrayals of the human body. The idea of flying has occupied Leonardo da Vinci's mind since he was a little kid. He studied birds' wings and created a canoe-like object with 4 wings. In 1480, Leonardo was the first to come up with the idea of spaceflight. He designed what is called the ornithopter flying machine. Leonardo once wrote in one of his notes, "If a man makes a linen tent 12 feet across by 12 feet wide, with all of its openings closed but one end, he'll be able to jump from any height without injury." One of the most widely known paintings is the Mona Lisa. It is said to be a self-portrait of Leonardo himself. Leonardo da Vinci began painting the Mona Lisa in 1503. After he lingered over it for 4 years, he left it unfinished. He is thought to have continued to work on it for the years after he moved to France. He finished it shortly before he died in 1519. The Mona Lisa is probably a self-portrait of the young wife of Francesco de Giocondo, a rich silk merchant of Florence, Italy. The Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in 1911. French poet Guillaume Apollinaire, who had once called for the Louvre to be burnt down, came under suspicion. He was arrested and put in jail. At the time, it was said that the painting was lost forever. It would be 2 years before the real thief was discovered. Louvre employee Vincenzo Perugia stole it by entering the building in normal hours, hiding in a broom closet, and walking out with it under his coat. Leonardo da Vinci began working on The Last Supper in 1495. He finished it in 1498. Leonardo rarely finished his work. Sometimes he would go for weeks or months without even touching the painting. But he always returned to it. Then he would work for days without stopping. The Last Supper covers a 15-foot by 19-foot wall. It is at the dining hall in Santa Maria della Grazia in Milan, Italy. During World War II, the church was bombed by Allied planes, but the painting was left standing. Recently, the Last Supper was carefully renovated with modern techniques. Here is a before and after of the renovation. Leonardo da Vinci died on May 2, 1519 in Clos, France. Legend has it that King Francois was at his side, cradling Leonardo's head in his arms.